car. So, updates on the car. Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. Let's release anything around the car or anything that's going on. You too. Release. It's just now, here, now. This is the only moment. Just you and me, kid. So, I mentioned the other day I was looking at car models and makes and what to go shopping for, which was the epic thing the other day, and then other makes and models, and because I'm looking for smaller, like subcompact and midsize, and after the midsize, the midsize it starts to get a little too big. Like the Camrys, it depends on the make and year and model and all that. It also depends on the submodel, because some of the nicer, older submodels, a little higher mileage now, aren't too expensive, and the seat backs come out, and I can see out the back window when the seat backs are out. So I'm like, well, damn, when I have passengers, I'll take the seat backs out of the back seat or out of the trunk. I'll put them back there, no worries. But I can see out the window the most of the rest of the time. If there's a person back there, there's going to be a head back there anyway, so seat back is not going to do, not going to make any difference either way. And I ran around and I ran around and I ran around, and I have another car to look at. It's just timing. A lot of these people are in this economic class, in this car class, and the less expensive cars, $2,500 to $3,000. You are pinning down a private buyer, and they're working all the time. And I'm coordinating with different people to get a ride to go see the car. Because if I just take Ubers everywhere, then I won't have enough money to buy a car to go do the shopping, and then to actually have them looked at. To pay $25 on 2 or 3 cars, maybe 4 or 5. To get like a background, and to still have them available when you're ready to buy them. So you really have to, within this market, be ready to buy a car. And getting around, primarily is the issue. To get to the car, to look at it, as some of these are pretty far. They're on the other side of the valley, which, half hour, 45 minutes depending on exactly where it is. And to get somebody to take that journey with you and coordinate with their schedule and the schedule of the person that you're seeing has been very interesting, and that's just been my life for the last 13 years. And I could, and I have, and I did go to a car lot to see and to sit in tons of different cars, and there are car lots here and in other places, but in Vegas, you can go do all kinds of crazy stuff here in Vegas. There's car lots here where, this is really interesting, you can walk on the car lot, and I wanted to sit in a whole bunch of different cars to see what makes and models. And like the Honda Accord, on the older ones I could see really well, in a particular subclass, like an EX class, because the seat backs were built in, and they were down below the horizon of where the window line was, so you could see out the back. But I talked to the guy, I'm like, what about this, what about this, what about that? And he's giving me prices, and I'm like, what about cash prices? Like, oh, that'd be $5,300, and to finance it, that'd be $6,200. I'm like, what? He says, like, $500 down, and I'll finance you, no credit check, nothing. You drive that bad boy off the lot at 21% interest. I'm like, seriously? But what's interesting is when to go finance a $12,500 car, like a Nissan Versa, 34,000 miles on it, and the only finance company they could find under my credit circumstances, because I really just don't have any credit right now, just building it back up, and it was 25, it was $24.99, so 25% interest. And after 6 months of payments, I can knock that down. But I was thinking the incredible contrast that you can go to, effectively what is a private dealership, and they'll just finance you. You want a car, you leave. You don't pay for the car, we come and take it. It's just that simple, and we don't screw around. So for $500 you can get a car, and it's financed. They're not reporting it to the credit agencies. It does your credit history no good whatsoever. So it really is just being raped and pillaged to basically because of your financial situation or maybe some kind of credit history. And that's all good. All those mechanisms have a place. They're all high-risk situations, and they're there to mitigate their risk, and no worries on them. But I just wanted to document this process because it is a very interesting process, just to get from A to B. It's like it's been 30 days that I've been looking, and you can only make sometimes a couple trips to go see cars a week, and then, the one that I had the money for, the last time they were depositing the balance of the money that I would need, and they're like, well, why don't you go and test drive? I'm like, well, it's kind of far, this one, and it's rare and unique. And the day they made the deposit, the car sold in the morning. And I think it would have been too big for me anyway, but it's just an example of coordinating the universe. So I'm willing more synchronicity into this. I want somebody just to show up at the house and go, hey, this is a car. Or next door neighbor go, hey, my friend was selling a car, and they just happened to be there. I'm calling on synchronicity to abound in this process, so that this can just be Glenn go outside at the front door, get in the car, and leave. Yay! And that is very close to happening. It is just the final phases of doing that. Just giving you my challenges and how patient I am. Imagine coordinating that type of thing for 13 years. That'd make daddy crazy. But since I haven't gone truly, truly crazy, like eat your liver with some fava beans, and it's just me ranting and raving on YouTube, I think we've done quite well. So, anyone who would be involved in this process that would need a car, the cars on that lot, the car lot that I went to that they wanted like $5,000 for, were like $3,400, $3,500 cars, just a little over what I'm looking at now. So you really, and I know sometimes it's, the manifestation is difficult to have all that in cash to go buy something, but if you ever have the ability to do that rather than finance it, even on those types of car lots, it's obviously advantageous because the interest at 21%, you're paying and a lot of these places are making you pay weekly, so the interest is even, mathematics is even stranger when you do that. You're paying off the loan a little tiny bit faster, but weekly payments make your monthly payment even higher than it would normally be. So you're paying like maybe $79 a week, and you would normally only have to pay you're paying an extra, that one extra week, the fourth week you're paying extra. It's weird, and in any case, that's basically what I would like to share. It is an interesting process, and one that's about to come to a close. And it's interesting how many ads are actually out there that, they've already sold it. They're just way too lazy to turn the ad off, and they don't care that they're wasting your time and theirs. And then the people that are private sellers, that the car seems perfectly fine, Carfax checks out, maybe not, accidents, everything seems to be fine. And I tell them, I want to come and I want to bring it after the test drive. I want to take it to have it checked. And they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, well, okay, so if I'm buying a gold coin and I don't know anything about gold coins, I'm taking it to a person that wants and is going to tell me about the gold coin and make me feel okay that I'm paying $3,000 for a gold coin and it's worth $3,000 or ever take. And you're like, no, you can bring a mechanic. I'm like, I can look at the cars. You want somebody to tear that bad boy apart. So either there's something wrong with it, or they're just ignorant of sales processes, or lazy, and or all the above, possibly. So wrangling the social class in this market for these, lower end cars has been extremely challenging, to say the least, to actually be able to organize them in a way where you can try to explain, well, why wouldn't you want the car checked out and have me feel comfortable? And there's just on to the next person that would understand that, because it's usually they're upset because there is something wrong with the car and there's no integrity in that sale, or they're retarded, possibly both, but it's usually one of the two. So anyway, that's my ranting and raving today. Now, I'm going to ask you, all of you, 831 of you right now, yay! You need like a scorecard or something. Yeah. So, we're going to do this right now, boys and girls. would you, and here's the thing I have at hand, would you buy a vehicle that has higher miles, that is visually nicer, but has much higher miles on it, like 180, 170,000 miles? Or would you buy something that has like 124,000 miles, but is, needs a paint job, and, the lamp assembly is kind of tweaked on one, so you need to change that out. There's duct tape all over one of the, not the headrest, but the shade, and so, it would need some TLC over time, and obviously take it in to have it looked at, and that's already being set up. But would you get something with lower miles that was a hoopty, basically? It looks like it, but mechanically it's sound, and it's not blowing out smoke or doing anything crazy, and it will, it could be fixed up over time. You can always take things to have painted, you can always change parts, like visually, but, the mechanics and the miles are what they are. So I have one that's, been offered at a relatively inexpensive price, and it seems to make sense because, the price point is rather attractive. So would you get something with lower miles that maybe is visually less appealing? Would you get something that has high miles on it, that has less of a lifetime left on it, and visually looks nice, maybe for business, for me to go to meetings and things like this? I'm not sure if that would be impactful or not. Obviously it's nice to have something that's a little bit more visually, aesthetically pleasing. But, I want to be able to go from A to B and not have any issues. I don't care what the damn car looks like for the most part, but, you can always have it painted, you can always have it fixed up. So I'm kind of torn in between, rather than having to take my time and spend the money to fix it and bring it up to speed where it would need to be, or what I would like it, is just to buy one within that class. And I have the money to do it. It would take all the money that I have. The people have been generous to get to me. And, I need a laptop and some other things to finish doing some of this WordPress things that I've been doing. I'm going to set up another YouTube channel. I'm going to start doing WordPress lessons, show people how to do WordPress and some other things, and I can't do that on the laptop I have. So if I buy the cheaper one, I would have the money to spend $400 or $500 on a laptop that would be suitable for me to start doing lessons, and then from that attract the type of people that would be paying me to do WordPress lessons all the time, and make a ton of money staying at home. So what would you do, boys and girls? And I know this video's gone kind of long, but if any of you held out to the end of this video and you're seeing that question, would you get the lower miles and visually less appealing, or would you get the higher miles and visually appealing? And here's where we are today, boys and girls. Well, that looks funny to me, but I think that'll look okay to you. 831 as of today. Yay! And I love all of you. I do, actually. And I can feel a connection with everybody who's subscribed on an unusual level. It's good to know that I can rant and rave for 13 minutes and not be out of breath. Bonus. Again, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching life, business, and spiritual. Also retreats, boys and girls. And thank you. I feel better after ranting and raving for 13 minutes, and people like to watch that. I love YouTube. So down below in the description, follow a link that energetically feels good to your heart. Don't look through them with your head and rationalize it out. Find one and go, ooh, that just has something unique about it. It doesn't matter what it is, and follow it, and you'll find the information that you wanted to find in this lifetime. And if you do like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. Yay!